also unpredictable because like the future vision is pretty clear that it's no longer apps, it's responsive buildings, interactions with chat-based user experiences or voice-based. So we're currently typing most of this now, but it's going to be a lot more voice interaction with AI, just like in the podcast interview with that AI. And then in the near future, what's clear, and what I had an email inquiry about just today, is how like things like wayfinding are going to be on smart glasses rather than on apps and kiosks. But a lot of those interface elements that used to be on mobile is going to live elsewhere. So that we replace the need for it, so you don't need to interact or see something visually. But when you do need to see something visually, like wayfinding, some guided arrows pointing you in the right direction, it'll be like on your glasses or eventually your brain implant or something. Who knows? But all of this is in the realm of AI because it's learning the pathways through unstructured data and learning those models, and there's so much we just can't predict what's going to happen. But like the near future is pretty clear, like the Gen AI and the chat-based interactions, and this post-mobile world that we have known is coming 10 years ago, but it's like just amplified in the last 2 years.
So it's like you've got hard data, which is like occupancy, utilization, whatever else that goes along with that. And then it's soft data, and how does that match up? And then being able to ask questions about how those two pieces combine.
Yeah, we're always looking for correlation. I think AI models can be trained on correlation. So the more data you have to correlate, the better the outcome because the more context it has. And surveys are a good starting point, but it also depends on people telling you the right thing. But getting subject scores of a room, it allows you to at least reference this room is underutilized, and people are giving it 2 stars out of 5. There must be a problem in that room. Let's go investigate. Or what are they telling us? It's uncomfortable. It's hot. So we can automatically close that loop if we need to. But there's all these other areas. Like we could be tracking more, and with computer vision, we will. And this will give us even more context. Like, what are people doing in that space? Maybe it got 2 stars because, the catering left all this dirty plates on the table. So we could have had a more responsive cleaning trigger that would have improved the experience of the people that came into that room. So there's just, endless correlations. It's exponential. And if you think about how many integration drivers we have in our library, hundreds, each of those things can start like being references to each other, and that that's literally like an exponential growth that we can't predict. Like once we start having AI that can discover this for us, rather than us or our customers or partners coming up with these ideas.
I guess that's the most exciting part of it, right? Is the possibility.
Yeah, and we're lucky that we've sort of been a platform play, where we're not like our intelligence doesn't live in a hard-coded app. It's a platform, so when these new abilities come out, we can rapidly develop for them. And when interfaces change, we just integrate with the different types of interfaces, as we always have. And indeed, no traditional interface is the ultimate goal. Something we've been saying for a decade. If you look at all the stories where I'm talking about the founding of our company, I often use that example of I walked into a room that had 10 touch panels and they didn't talk to each other, and we wanted to replace that. Well, now we're replacing the need for any visual interaction. So that just takes that original goal and just makes it more achievable, because we're just sort of replacing those 10 touch panels with 10 apps in the industry. So the problem just kept shifting and shifting, but that shifting stops when it comes to AI, because it's all integrated and cross-referenced, and you don't have to like touch anything. It just responds.
Do you think there's like a correlation between like this, a similar thing is happening with this kind of stuff as did happen with, say, music? You needed to be able to play instruments. You needed multiple people to be able to play instruments to get certain sounds, and eventually it came to a point where like it's in a computer. And then same with like developers, there's more and more people being able to code, but you've got the barrier to entry becomes lower and lower
Yeah.
and lower. Do you think like there's a similar pattern here?
100% there. I think where this is important for PlaceOS is it's opening new industry verticals. It's allowing new industry verticals to access technology that historically has been like large corporates that have it. So small aged care facilities, for example, and it's become AI is making things less resource intensive, less IT intensive. The everyday person can start running their own AI and make their job more efficient, and that can expand to all jobs, including property related jobs, user experience related jobs. I just think that it's accessible in so many ways because it's a lower barrier to entry for people developing, but also a lower barrier to entry for people consuming this technology.